Hey Leo, we're going to be doing your reading today. So, all right, we're going to get right into it. Leo, let's see what's going on for you guys, Leo. All right. Leo. Okay, so 3 cards just came out for your opportunity. So maybe you guys think, maybe you have an opportunity that's like friggin' awesome, or an opportunity that could lead to like exponential growth or something about that. Maybe you guys just like the number 3, or there's something about, I don't know, the number 3 or 3 things, something about that is important or part of your opportunity. So, all right, you guys have the Page of Pentacles, and this is showing up for your energy for the week. I feel like you're seeing something as like having potential, or there's something that you're maybe wanting to learn more about, okay, that kind of thing. I feel kind of hopeful about this, to be quite honest. Like I'm getting like a real like hopeful energy, okay? I feel as though some of you guys are like extending an invitation maybe to somebody, or there's something that you're maybe making plans for something, that kind of thing, okay? I just understand something about like this is an opportunity and I kind of want to like grasp it or move forward with it, something like that, all right? That kind of thing. All right, so let's see. I'm seeing shipping boats, so I don't know, not really sure, not really sure what's up with that, but I am seeing like big shipping vessels. So, all right, you guys have the Magician, and this is showing up for how you guys are feeling. So that's kind of amazing, because that's very amazing. All right, Page of Pentacles and then the Magician. This kind of feels like you are feeling as though you have the ability to really like manifest something, and that's what we were saying with this like 3-card little situation that came out here. I do feel like there's something that you're seeing as like having exponential growth, something about that, okay? I'm also wondering if you have 3 different options with something, all right? That kind of thing. I really like this Magician card for you guys in the area of your feelings. Again, it's almost like you are feeling like you have, maybe that you already have all the stuff that you need to create a certain something. I'm getting DIY energy for some of you guys as well. I'm wondering if this is maybe you guys like wanting to do something like crafty or with your hands, something like that, all right? That kind of situation. All right, I also understand the feeling of like being inspired to do something, being like, okay, I'm really inspired to kind of like put this thing together, or to, again, like seeing the opportunity in something like that. So, all right, in your environment, you guys have the Temperance card here. So I'm understanding this as like the timing is just right, okay? I feel like whatever's going on here, I'm getting very positive energy off of it. Definitely like excitement, that kind of stuff, or at least feeling like this can work, like I want to do this, something like that. And I really am understanding something about either possibly a Sagittarius person being in your environment, or again, it's like the timing is right, okay? It's like the blending of 2 different things. This is friggin' cool. I really like this energy, the Magician and the Temperance card. Yeah, I feel like you guys, it just feels super capable, it feels super capable. And again, there's something about like the timing is right, or somebody around you is seeing something as like this is the right timing, or that whatever it is that you're doing, maybe you're waiting for a specific time to do something, or to showcase something, to offer something, whatever it is, okay? That kind of thing. I'm also understanding something about you maybe offering a piece of information, or maybe a physical item, something like that, and then that actually like making something better around you, okay? Or that being the thing that like now somebody else, or you, or a situation, whatever it is, can like, there's like a blending of like ideas, or like 2 things are like kind of coming together as one, that kind of thing. I feel like I'm watching this in reverse, so I'm like, what does that mean? But I feel like I'm watching something in reverse. All right. Okay, so let's see. So you guys have the Page of Cups, and this is showing up for your goal. So, okay. All right, you have the Page of Pentacles as your energy, and you have the Page of Cups as your goal here. This feels like bringing a dream to life. It feels like bringing a dream to life, or there's something here that you might even have the goal here, okay, to like let yourself daydream, let yourself like dream, believe, whatever the heck it is, okay, that kind of stuff. Maybe there's a particular like wish or something that you kind of like want to manifest in some sense, okay, that kind of stuff. Again, I'm getting like a lot of potential here. I feel like things are working out. I can't get off this whole thing of like, it's the right timing, or I don't know, something like that. Like something like that, all right? That kind of thing. All right. I even wonder if there's like an energy of like mystery behind whatever this is. I wonder if you're like, I want to like kind of keep them guessing, or I want to keep somebody wondering, or something like that, okay? That kind of stuff. Maybe even like stretching somebody's like imagination, or stretching somebody's like creativity. This could certainly be for yourself as well. There's something like that. So, all right, you guys have the King of Pentacles, and this is showing up for the challenge. I feel like there's maybe something that you're just possibly wanting to do something maybe a little bit new, okay? Maybe this is the energy of something that's like, it's always been done this way, or, whatever the heck it is, that kind of thing. I wonder if this is like the challenge is being like, we got to like find something that's like more updated, or maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're updating something, all right? That kind of situation. Okay, and I'll say another thing here. You have this Temperance card in your environment, and you have this King of Pentacles here for the challenge. Again, there is something about like divine timing, or timing in general, that kind of thing. Okay, maybe having to be quite patient until like a certain step of something, and then it's like, okay, now this thing transforms into something else, that kind of thing. I wonder if the challenge is feeling like you don't have enough time, or that time is of the essence. There's definitely an energy of like the right timing, or having to speed something up. And I just said something about like, I feel like I'm seeing something in reverse here. Okay, that kind of thing. There's something here. So, all right, let's see. Okay, so you guys, again, had 3 cards come out here for your opportunity. So let's see what goes on here. You have the Hanged Man, Knight of Pentacles, and the Sun card. Okay, so again, I do understand an emphasis on time, or there's something about that, okay? How long something has taken, or something regarding that. I also understand something about if you guys have maybe been like going back and forth between something here. I almost feel like your opportunity is to move ahead after possibly seeing something from a different perspective, that kind of stuff, and then starting to like put moves towards something. You know what I'm trying to say? It feels like there's been a lot of like thinking and maybe like messing around with stuff, or whatever the heck it is, and now it's like your opportunity is to like put, combine everything, or like put everything together and kind of have something up and running, that kind of situation. That's what I'm feeling. I am getting this feeling of like something was put on hold, or something like you had to take a break from something, whatever the heck it is, okay? Something about that. I also understand something that, like it's like the energy is really primed for something to pick up, or for something to kind of like start being actualized, that kind of thing. That's what I'm seeing as your opportunity. And then with the Sun card here, I can only imagine that this is something that is either going to be like, okay, now it's ready to be, shown, to be seen, or that this is the opportunity for you to possibly reveal something that maybe you have been like going back and forth about, or like not really sure, that kind of stuff, maybe double checking, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm feeling. It's like, and now we can reveal it, or now we can kind of like showcase something, like reveal something. That's really what I'm feeling. So, all right, let's see what else we can get for you guys, Leo. Leo. Did I call you Leo at the beginning of this reading? I don't know. I hope so. This is a Leo reading. So, all right, let's see. Leo. Whoa, Jesus. Hold on. Obviously, I dropped something. Oh my God. Okay, so the Knight of Swords reversed just fell on the floor, and then you have the Lovers card here. So this feels like maybe not wanting to be convinced, or be pushed in. I'm going to say convinced, not wanting to be convinced, or feeling like someone's like pressuring you into something. I think that's more so what I'm trying to say, is a feeling of like being pressured into maybe making a particular decision, or a feeling maybe, I think I want to say that, pressured into making a particular decision, or something. So, all right, let's see. I'm also being like, no, that's not what I meant. Hold on, I want to like I want to take that back. Like I want to say something different, or I mean this instead, or something like that. Okay, that kind of thing. I do feel like it maybe is coming after a time of like studying something, or maybe taking a really long time with something and then coming to like a different conclusion. All right, I'm also kind of understanding that. So, all right, Leo, let's see, Leo. All right, So with the Page of Pentacles, you guys have the Six of Cups here. You definitely are in the energy of, I think, you're either receiving news that is like, you're like, thank you, you know, like that's what I was looking for. That's the return that I was looking for. Something about that. I also understand possibly being in the energy of seeing some situation or some person or whatever the heck is going on and being like, you know what, that actually really speaks to me. There's some nostalgia there, or I can really relate to that kind of thing. Okay. I also understand maybe exchanging something in the terms of like old stories or something about that, like exchanging stories or exchanging something, that kind of thing. All right. I do understand that. It feels very much like the beginning of something, all right, that kind of stuff, or like really putting moves towards something here, all right, and it's, there's also something that I swear to God, I feel like you're reviewing something or going back towards something to almost like fact check or to make sure that whatever it is that you're putting out is like, in fact, what it is that you're like, okay, yes, I'm confident in saying that, whatever it is, or doing that, you know, something like that. So, all right, with the Magician, you guys have the Two of Swords here. So, okay, Magician and then the Two of Swords. So this Two of Swords says Lord of Peace restored. A little bit this feels like you're feeling like you're restoring something, like something has been like restored, whatever the heck that is. I also want to say restocked from that, okay, that kind of thing. But it feels like the power is in your hands, or the control is like it's up to you in some sense to like manifest something, put something together, that kind of thing, okay? Or at least like taking action on something that maybe was avoided, or maybe it was like, oh, you know, there could be a better fit for something, or, you know, something like that. For some of you guys, it could be that you're feeling that a specific thing that you're doing, or tradition, or something like that, you might be like, I feel more comfortable keeping this private. You know, it could be as simple as that. All right, so with the Temperance card, you guys have the Five of Swords, and this is showing up in your environment. So, again, I do feel like this has something to do with timing, all right? I'm really understanding that. But I wonder if this is maybe somebody who is feeling like you might be feeling like, okay, the timing is perfect for this, but somebody else around you might be like, this is actually the worst timing ever, you know? Like we're all different, so like that would make sense, all right? That kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. You might even be feeling like you've created something that you were like, wait, that's not what I meant. Like I'm almost getting that, you know, something about that. I'm also getting double energy, okay? So there might be something that is like double, or I don't know, or this is just like two things being blended into one in some sense, maybe to strengthen something, possibly after a time of like feeling defeated or feeling, I don't know, some type of way about something here, okay? I also understand possibly the reaction of somebody else. You might be kind of like thinking about that, or being like, what do I do with that? Or this has happened more than once, or, you know, something like that. So, okay. All right, let's see. You might have a smooth talker in your environment too, or somebody around you, or this might be a situation that like requires like a certain amount of like smooth talking or like finesse in some sense. So, all right, let's see. So for your goal here, you guys have the Page of Cups, and then you have the King of Pentacles with it. So yes, I do feel like, again, your goal is like something to do with like bringing something, you know, down. Like I keep saying that. That's like such a theme. It's like bringing something like down to reality and being like, okay, can I really see the potential in this? Or is this really what I think it is? Like it looks like this, but what's really hiding underneath it, I'm almost getting something like that. Okay, I feel like in the past there's been, again, I'm gonna say it again, there's been a lot of time devoted to something, or there's been maybe something that was like very consistent along the way, something about that, and the goal might be like, okay, I see it this way. I wonder if anybody else is going to kind of like pick up what I'm seeing, or pick up like what I'm feeling, you know, that kind of stuff. All right, certainly could be. I'm almost getting like hinting at something, you know, like hinting at something, that kind of thing. I almost feel like that might be part of whatever this is. So, all right, you have the Seven of Wands, and this is showing up as like what to do. So I feel like for some of you guys, I do think maybe boundaries has something to do with whatever is going on here, that kind of stuff. Okay, maybe this is like putting up boundaries with the amount of time you're putting into something, money, whatever it is, something about that, okay? I'm getting like shopping references, so I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what's up with that, but I'm getting like shopping references, like going shopping, like clothes shopping. I kind of want to say there's something, I'm picking up something about that, but I have literally no idea what that means. So, okay. All right. So let's see. You have Seven of Wands and the Two of Wands. I feel like you thought something was going to happen and then it didn't, but why do I feel like it was supposed to? And I know this sounds weird. It feels like you had a feeling like, okay, this is going to happen, this thing, and then it like didn't, but it was supposed to. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm understanding. So I'm not sure what that's in relation to, but I'm picking that up. So, okay. You guys have the Two of Wands with this Seven of Wands here. So here's the thing. It could be that like kind of putting up a boundary or being like, okay, this is my line, whatever it is. It could be that whatever that's bringing in is a sense of now I know where to go. It's like, okay, there's like a clear like division or something about that. And now I know kind of where I want to place my time and energy, or where I want to move in what direction. You know what I'm saying? Moving in a certain direction, that kind of stuff. All right. For some of you guys, it could be that you're like, this is my passion and I'm quite convinced of it. Like I know this is what it is, that kind of stuff. And it might be even like kind of bringing that attention or bringing that energy to maybe somebody else, or just like, I want to say like admitting it to yourself, that kind of stuff. That might be what kind of like, I want to say catapults you into, moving in like maybe a new direction or something, or having to like choose your path. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it comes with an energy of being more confident about that decision. So you have the Four of Pentacles. Is this the Four? Yeah. Four of Pentacles. And this is showing up as what to avoid here. So there's something about like not holding on to stuff that maybe you don't need anymore, that kind of stuff, especially with this, like, I want to say reinvention. This is Lord of Peace restored, that kind of stuff. Maybe this is just like, again, it's like we're not going to hold on to stuff that like we don't need to, whether it's a grudge, whether it's physical items, that kind of stuff, okay? There's really an energy of sharing here. So if this is like maybe indicative of like, maybe a time of like not really wanting to share, not wanting to open up, or like kind of being like, nope, I'm keeping this thing to myself. I feel like that is kind of to be avoided. To me, this more so feels like letting yourself kind of like share with other people, or like offer something that maybe somebody else is like, wow, I really recognize that, or that's kind of like my situation too, something like that. All right, that kind of stuff. All right, so you guys have the you have the Queen of Cups, and then you have it with the King of Pentacles here. This is showing up for your challenge. So, okay, interesting. I feel like there has been a something that I think was going really consistently, or it was on like a regimented schedule. I feel like that maybe has taken like a bit of a change or something regarding that. Or again, this is maybe just having the courage to kind of like leap towards something new, or doing something more updated, that kind of thing. Maybe it's like not so conventional or not so traditional. Okay, maybe there's something about like a particular tradition that is even like presenting as like a little bit of a challenge right now, that kind of stuff. Okay, certainly could be. Yeah, I'm actually like I'm getting really strong references of that, so I kind of want to lead with that. So, all right, you have the Queen of Cups, and this is showing up as like the past energy here. So I do feel like something kind of was, I want to say fabricated, like either emotions like came up really quickly, that kind of thing, or something kind of like hit you in a certain way where it was like, whoa, like that's like intense energy, or like a strong reaction of something, or that kind of thing. All right, there's something about that. But this King of Pentacles, it's almost like you know what this almost feels like? Like we only have so much patience, right? Like we only have so much patience. So it's almost like you've been putting up with something for such a long time, and it's like it's almost like at the point where you're like, I don't know if I can keep doing this, or like how much longer is this going to take, or something about that. Okay, that kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm feeling. It's like your heart is in something, but I feel like maybe something is really expensive, or maybe there's again, like you're trying to do something in like a new type of way, or like updating something, revamping something about that. Okay, that kind of stuff. I am getting that nostalgic reference, so I'm almost this is so random. I'm almost getting somebody who's like, okay, pretend you're restoring something that has like historical significance to it. I'm getting like somebody being like, oh, you should restore that back to its like historical accuracy, and then somebody else who's like, no, let's just update it the way that we want. I don't know what, but I'm understanding that as like being a challenge, okay, in some sense. So obviously that's like a specific example, but that's kind of what it feels like. So, all right. Okay, so you have the Ten of Cups here, and this is showing up as the action to take. So I really do feel like this is something about like understanding that maybe you have worked through something friggin' hard, and maybe it's the time now to kind of like do something that makes you feel like I've made it through, or I've, you know, this is where I feel like really like emotionally supported, or I feel like this is like, you know, where like the people who understand me, or something about that. Okay, I do understand something regarding that, especially if you are feeling maybe challenged because maybe like somebody's belief system or the way that they like have like their ins and outs of their like daily life might be conflicting with something that you're doing, or maybe there's something in your life that is now conflicting in some sense. All right, that kind of stuff. I do feel like there's an emphasis on making sure that like you're kind of like maybe even going into a situation like already feeling a part of something, or already feeling like I'm allowed to be here, or I feel comfortable here. There's something about that, okay? This could even be like I feel safe with like putting out an opinion that maybe not everyone agrees with, you know, God forbid, or like, you know, something like that, okay? I think it's more of like an energy of being okay with yourself and your surroundings, even if there's again, this like mentality of like maybe not everyone would do that, or some people don't agree with it, or it's like they do this way and blah, 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 you know, that kind of stuff. All right. So you have the Princess of Wands here, and this is showing up as what it's going to bring. So you have a lot of court cards rolling around here. Okay, you definitely do. All right, so Princess of Wands with this Ten of Cups. To me, this feels like being inspired and not being fatigued. That's what it feels like. This almost feels like being okay with being yourself, kind of that kind of situation, and being like, no, I've worked really hard to actually like be this like at ease, or to feel, to like make it this far, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. And I do feel like just that energy alone is kind of propelling like source of like inspiration, or being like, you know what, I want to do something different. I want to do something kind of like an adventure, or something that is like, you know, not so much of like a King of Pentacles, like that very traditional like day in day out kind of stuff. Like that's kind of what I'm feeling. So you have the Seven of Pentacles, and this is showing up as what to avoid. I'm understanding this as avoiding like I know you have this energy of like checking back on something, or like kind of reviewing something here. I understand this as avoiding being like, okay, just because you review something or go over it doesn't mean you have to be like, okay, and now we're going to change everything, you know, that kind of stuff. This might be like a memory refresher, or like, I don't know, something like that, all right, that kind of situation. Or maybe this is like studying for, you know, maybe you studied for something and like you knew it like the back of your hand, and now it's like a year later and you've got to like kind of, you know, brush up on that, or whatever the heck it is, you know, something like that. So I do feel like this is kind of avoiding perfectionism. Okay, certainly there's an energy of that, but it's also like avoiding feeling like you always have to like get around something, or feeling like you always have to like, I don't know, like tweak something here and move something there. There's something about that. It's like kind of like letting like the dust settle, or something like that. So all right, okay. I want to say something about like avoid scrutinizing like what you're doing. Okay, something about that, like kind of just like letting the energy flow, as opposed to being like, wait, hold on, let me analyze the crap out of this, and like, you know, get too much into your head. You know, I do get a big sense of like creativity, creation, following your inspiration, that kind of stuff. So I feel like maybe not trying to like overanalyze something, or, you know, make something like extremely perfect, you know, that kind of stuff. Like that would be like best to be avoided right now. So, all right, with all this energy and your opportunity, again, you guys had like 3 cards come out here. So again, you have the Hanged Man, the Knight of Pentacles, and then you have it with the Sun card. So we were saying something about possibly you guys like having to, you know, maybe this is taking a break from something or maybe seeing a different way to do something, and then maybe being like, okay, this way can either make something speed up, or this is slowing me down. There's something about that, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I'm saying about reviewing something, but it's not like reinventing the wheel because of that. You know what I'm saying? That's really, I feel like keeping your eye on like details, or like little changes, or something like that would be like that would be beneficial in some sense. So in any sense, you have the King of Cups coming up before this energy. So it feels like in the past, again, there was something here that I feel like you really like went with your heart, or there was either a situation that you handled like really, really well by not going like off the deep end, okay? Maybe just like really reading the room, understanding like where everyone else is at, where you're at, that kind of stuff, and kind of like moving forward in that way. To me, that's being like really flexible and also just a level of awareness, you know, that kind of stuff. I feel like that's already been like exhibited, or you've kind of like proved yourself in that way. And that's kind of why I feel like your opportunity is one of like, now things are going to kind of start picking up speed, that kind of stuff. But it's like, we can't keep taking breaks like every 2 seconds, or we can't keep like being like, okay, well, what about this? Or what about that? That kind of stuff. It's like, let the energy keep going. I'm a little surprised the Eight of Wands isn't out here, to be completely honest. So, all right, let's see. So you guys have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, you have so many court cards out here. So you maybe you have to make like a lot of decisions, or maybe this is an energy of like having to wear like multiple different hats, something about that, maybe dealing with a lot of different personalities or situations, that kind of stuff. Definitely understand something about like, you know, needing to be like kind of flexible with whatever this is. So, all right, Knight of Wands, this is showing up for what to do about your opportunity here. So yeah, I feel like I'm repeating myself so much in your reading. It's like following your inspiration, allowing yourself to go on an adventure. This could even be like physically moving, you know what I'm saying? Like doing something in the sense of like, I mean, you're a fire sign, so that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if there's like a release of energy in the form of like physicality, okay? Something about that. And I really, really do understand something about like strong creativity, you know, something about that, and being like inspired or inspiring somebody else. There's something. So, all right, you have the Knight of Cups, and this is showing up what this Knight of Wands is going to bring. This is friggin' awesome. So like, yeah, following your inspiration seems to be leading to like a wish come true, or like you finding like your absolute happiness. For some of you guys, maybe this is even finding love, okay? Starting a relationship in some sort, that kind of stuff. But it really does feel like it's like, dude, follow your inspiration, go like, you know what this feels like? Not everyone's gonna like what you're doing, or this, that, the other, that kind of stuff. That's, to me, that's like common sense, but that doesn't mean that we should be like, okay, well then we'll just like adapt to everybody else's like version of what we're supposed to be, or that kind of stuff, you know? I don't like that. I don't like that at all, all right? Also, that like, I feel like that never ends well, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I know this from experience, so that's why I'm saying it. So, all right, you have the Moon card here, and this is showing up as what to avoid. I would say avoid feeling like if something is scary, that means stop, or that something's confusing or not completely revealed, or something about that it's like, okay, that's it, stop. I don't understand that at all, especially with all this like movement and like heart-based stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like passion and love all mixed together, that kind of stuff. That's why I'm saying it's like, this feels like it's like a relationship, or like a project that you're like super passionate about, a job maybe, something, or a new friendship. You know what I'm saying? There's something here, like very interconnected energies, that kind of stuff. Okay, so this is interesting. So this Moon card says ruler of flux and reflux. I'm getting like acid reflux off of this. I know that's probably not at all what this means, but I'm like, I don't know, for whatever reason. Well, it's not that crazy. It's like pretty close to, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. So yes, so I do feel like it's like, hey, even if something is like kind of like not known, or you're not exactly sure how it's going to end out, or something about that doesn't mean don't do it, you know, that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm feeling at all. And I would also say definitely trust your intuition, or follow your intuition, something about that, okay? You know what I'm getting? Somebody doing a self-portrait with a mirror right in front of them, which is, obviously, you could do that or take a picture. Doesn't matter, either one. But I don't know. I picked that up. I don't know what that has to do with your reading. Probably nothing. But and I like that there's a scarab beetle there. I'm friggin' into that. So, all right, that's what I have for you guys, Leo. I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you could check your other placements, and I'll see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.